My name is Miguel, and I did my critical assignment slash park on Black Diamond Mines Regional Preserve in Antioch, California. So, some history of Black Diamond Mines. It was a really big park. It's a 6,000 acre park. It's really big, and it has a bunch of amenities. The one big history that this park has is the underground mines that it had. So pretty much coal mining became um, a really big popular just topic and lifestyle for the early settlers. This land was acquired around 1973 from the current East Bay Regional Park District, and they are the ones that maintain the park and tell the amazing history to date. Um, so the park is located in the East Bay of San Francisco, and it is right on the hills of Mount Diablo, which is another major park in that area. It is by the water, so when you go hiking in this park, you will go up to the hills and you can oversee all of the water in the area of the delta, the Mount Diablo, the surrounding cities like Antioch, California, Oakley, and Brentwood, those surrounding cities. So pretty much more history on who lived there and who settled there. So in the beginning, before the coal mining began, it was the Native American Indian tribes. There were three of them, three communities, and they called themselves, I hope I can pronounce this right, the Chipkin, the Volvin, and Ompin tribes, and they all spoke the Bay Miwok language. They lived peaceful lives until the arrival of the Spanish, Mexican, and American settlers in 1772. So from that point on, it transitioned into um, the ranch lifestyle and the early settlers who lived there. And it just grew because that's when they discovered the coal mining and the underground coal tunnels. So the mining and cattling ranching were the big major industries in this park around that time in 1772. Um, Coal mining became popular around, I want to say, the 1860s until recently in the last century. There were five mining towns. One was called Nortonville, Summersville, Stewartville, West Hartley, and Jiddensville. And these towns advanced dramatically in this area. This park pretty much became California's largest coal mining operation. It had 4 million tons of coal that were removed from the ground, and this area, the region of the coal mining, was called the Mount Diablo coal field. And the residents of these towns came from all over the world. Their lifestyle was filled with long hours of hard work, and they showed a lot of coal that they mined and the variety of basically of the variety of coal and the long work hours basically showed their accomplishments. So in these pictures you see the two pictures on the left are what it is of what Black Diamond Mine looks like today. So pretty much it's inside the hill, obviously, and there's the staircase that leads you to the Hazel Atlas portal, which is basically where they do the tours to this day. It's called the Hazel Atlas guided tour. On the right side, you see Black Diamond Mines back in like the 1700s and when the early settlers began to discover the coal, and pretty much shows all of the findings and all the people that live there. So one big amenity that this park has is called the Rose Hill Cemetery, and pretty much this is where all of the early settlers who lived there and all the residents of the five towns where they were buried when they passed away. Um, there was a lot of kids, a lot of women, and a lot of men that passed away. The kids that passed away died from epidemics, so some of them died from smallpox, scarlet fever, and diphtheria, I believe is what it's called. And they were all buried. And I want to say the kids were less than a year old, if anything, a little bit over a year old. And the woman passed away due to mainly childbirth. Um, and the men, they mainly passed away from mining accidents. So, for example, mining explosions, horse riding accidents, and different types of like natural disasters in the mines. And then this is said to believe that there is 200 documented people that passed away and are buried in those burial grounds in Rose Hill. However, there are only 80 gravestones, and since they were really expensive, there were some of the family and friends were shared one gravestone, so some were kind of just basically stacked on top of each other. Um, and there's still said to believe that there's more than 200 people that they probably don't know are buried there. But for right now, what my research said was 200 people were buried there. And some vegetation and wildlife. So there's pretty much a lot of vegetation. There's different kinds of plants, all different types of species. So the bottom left, there's a plant right here that is called, they call it the Indian warrior. I don't know if it's rare or not, but it is one of the main plants that we find in Black Diamond. There is a lot of just vegetation on the top right. You see like a cow. There's a lot of cows, cattle, goats. There's a lot of animals because right now to this day there's houses that kind of have like ranch style homes. So people that live there have own their own animals and they're allowed to go to take their animals up on the hills and eat the grass and just kind of live an animal's life, I guess. Here, the middle picture is the Cooper's hawk. It's a picture of the like it's like a rare bird, and on the top left is just another regular bird. So there's a lot of different birds that range in Black Diamond. There's a lot of coyotes, snakes, mountain lions, bobcats. There's just some that have been spotted. They're not really usually there, but they have been spotted before, since the park has been opened. And so I live in Oakley, California, which is the neighborhood city of where Black Diamond Mine lives. So I grew up in that area. So I've been to Black Diamond Mines myself. It was a really big like spot for us to go hiking, to go, enjoy nature, go get a good workout in. I went with all my friends. I usually go during like school breaks, the school vacations, even in high school, back in middle school, we would get 2 week breaks every few months. And during those times, we would go out hiking. I remember when I was in grade school, like in elementary or so, this was one of the designated spots for a field trip. So I went on a field trip in grade school to the Black Diamond Mines, and they took us on the 90-minute guided tour. So I've been, I've experienced this park, and as you can see the pictures here, there's a beautiful view of the water, a beautiful view of the city and the hills. So I've gone when it is really hot. So as you can see on the bottom left, the picture that's really dry. It's really better to go in the springtime, which is the top left picture. I went in the springtime during spring break through CBU. I want to say maybe 2 years ago. This picture was these pictures were taken, and it's just you could tell like the different times of the seasons. Like clearly springtime is more cloudy, whereas in the summer it's really hot, not cloudy, dry, and yeah. So pretty much I did my park paper on this park because I grew up with it. I have personal experiences with it and I really enjoyed it. And to this day, and pretty much, yeah. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'm sorry if it was really long, but I hope you guys all have a good day and good luck with the rest of your guys' semester. Thank you.